Hey viewers, this is Chase and this is my last Java Basics tutorial. So it's going to be great. We're going to learn about something really cool called methods, and they're kind of new. Basically, we're going to have to go over some basic stuff here, okay? So when I have a class here, everything in here is a class, and a class just holds methods. This is a method. Everything we've been doing has been inside of one method, the main method. But now we're going to create our own methods. And the uses of this, there's various uses, but the main usage is basically for things you're going to do multiple times. Let's say I have a special way I'm going to print out a bunch of data, and I'm going to do this with several sets of data or something. And then let's say I copied it and pasted it everywhere, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I want to change how I do this just a little bit. Am I going to have to change it in every spot? Not if you use a method. And so basically, we have our main method here, and to use a method, we're going to need to name them static to do it without creating an object of last tutorial, which we're not going to do. So we're just going to need to name it static, and then what we need to put after this is the return type. The return type, which is going to be we're going to make this method. It's just going to add two numbers. And so we're going to say it returns a number. So it's going to take in two numbers and give us those numbers added together. And then, so public static int, and we can name it whatever we want. I'm going to name it add because I'm not very creative. Int A and int B. And so basically this is just going to return. Notice I get an error here because it says, oh, this must return an int. And that's because I said it returns int. If I said void, the error will go away. You don't need to return. Void just says I don't return anything. You can return, and that basically just means, hey, we're going to quit the method. But and you could do that inside an if statement, and then nothing after it would happen if you return or something. Or you could just return here and nothing after that happens, which is useless. So anyways, we're going to return A plus B. So basically what this does is it takes two numbers, it adds them, and then it returns them. So if I say, well, let's do this. Let's make just a basic calculator equals new scanner system.in, and we're going to import that. So now we can do system.out.println number 1, and I'm going to get rid of the line. Okay, and then we just basically say int a equals x.next int, and then we're going to system.out.println number 2, and we're going to do add a x.next int. There we go. And so what this is going to do is it's going to say, hey, what's a number? It stores that number as a. It says, hey, what's another number? Stores that number. Well, it doesn't store it. It just sends it to add. And so when I say add, basically this kind of says, I said I want an int and another int. And so when it jumps, this makes us jump to this code. And when we jump here, A is the first variable we passed in, and B is the second variable. So if I passed in 5 and 6, this would be 5, 6, 5, 6, and it would return 11. Now, you could go like this. I don't think you get an error for that. Okay, you do. But you could do this and you don't use the number it returns, which is fine. Or you could system.out.println, and you can print that number, or you can store it, or you can do whatever you want, but there's a number there. So if I say 5 and 2, we got 7. So this code is kind of replaced with what it returns. And so, yeah, we jump down there, and we could do this for several different things. We could do like 5 and 22. And so now you're going to notice if we do 5 and 6, that's 11. And then it also did 27 because I said 522. So you can see how that's useful. You don't have to return something. You can just do a void. Maybe it prints out something or something. For the most part, you'll probably have a return or something it takes in, but you might not. Doesn't matter. But that's how you use methods, and that's really it for this tutorial on that. But I'm also going to go over how to actually run your program. Now, as a text-based application, it's not going to be that great, but let me see if I can never mind. But so what we're going to do is I'm going to make this a little bigger just so you can see it. What we're going to do is we have this program now, and we can only run it in Eclipse. Now, it's not the best with a text-based program, but we can export it to a runnable jar file, and I'm just going to do C. And then you select which one you want to do. We're going to do this one. And ASDF.jar. So I saved it to my my hard drive. And so I'm just going to push finish, which you can't see because it's cut off. And then now, if I come over here, it's down here. But it's really kind of useless. Because if you run it, nothing happens. Unless you go to the command prompt, and if you push Windows R, this thing will pop up. And then you can do cmd.exe. And now this thing pops up. And I'm just going to go to your C drive. And now you could do, buttons. Alright, sorry. To be honest, I kind of just barely decided I wanted to show you how to run it. And I haven't really recently ran any programs from the command prompt, so I wasn't sure. But I figured it out. So, for some reason, so you just do Java, and then you have to say how much space we give it. So just type what I'm typing. Jar, okay. And now you just do the path to the jar, so that's asdf.jar. And then we run it. Notice how our program actually runs. And so it's num1, num5, 34, and then it added them, and that worked. Now, that's not very cool. Like, our users have to do that, and there's a slightly better way to do it. If we do a new text folder in the same location, and we name it run ASDF, and then we edit it real quick, just in Notepad, we can do Java xmx1024 jar asdf.jar. And basically what this does is we're going to have to rename it. So if you can't see the .txt on the end, what you need to do is you need to go to Organize, Folder and Search Options, View, and where it says Hide Extensions for Known File Types, uncheck that. That way you can see it, and then push Rename and name it .bat. And a bat basically runs in the command prompt. So when we open this, if you notice, it basically put that in the command prompt for us. So now our program, we can run it, and it works. And see, that works, except you're going to want to, since it disappears, you're going to want to just do like x.nextLine just to get a new line so that they can push enter or something before the program quits. But so that's kind of how you can run it from the command prompt. It's not that hard. But once we start actually getting into graphic user interfaces, you won't need to run it from the command prompt and stuff. And seeing as you're on the last video in my basics, it won't be too long before you start getting to GUI. So yeah, that's how you do that. I hope you guys enjoyed Java programming, and I'm glad you made it this far in my basics tutorials, and I hope to see you in one of my next tutorials series. I'm going to do what I'm going to do next is a intermediate series, and I would go to that one before you try going to my game series or my GUI series that I'm going to be making, because the intermediate, you're going to want to know all that stuff. But yeah, but have fun, play around with this. You can make some cool stuff, and once you understand everything you've learned in these, I would definitely move on, and we'll get into some really cool stuff. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm excited that I finally ended my first series. It actually didn't take that long, only a couple days. I'm going to stop rambling. I think I'm getting tired. See you later.